Today, we are going to talk about minerals. Let us have an activity first. You are going to match the list of minerals on the right side column to its useful product on the left side column. Okay, these are the answers. For number 1, the pencil contains letter C, graphite. For number 2, the toothpaste contains letter B, fluoride. Number 3, the jewelries are made up of letter E, gold. Number 4, the glasses contains letter D, quartz. And for number 5, the salt granules contains letter A, halite. Let us study now the characteristics of minerals. First, it is natural. What is the meaning of that? It occurs naturally. It is not man-made. Ang mga mineral ay hindi gawa ng tao. Ito ay gawa ng nature. Ito ay produkto or byproduct ng mga processes ng nature. Another characteristic of a mineral is that it is an inorganic substance. So what makes an inorganic substance different from organic one? Primarily, the reason why a substance is an inorganic because it contains carbon. Pero, meron ding mga inorganic substance na merong carbon. So, the main reason is that in an organic substance, the carbon is mostly linked to hydrogen. Ang inorganic, may mga carbon element pero hindi siya linked or bonded to hydrogen. That is why inorganic substance is different from organic. Another characteristic of a mineral is that it has a crystalline structure. So what do we mean by that? In a crystalline structure, the atoms are arranged in an orderly pattern. Maayos ang pagkaka-arrange ng mga atoms sa loob ng kristal. It can be formed into an isometric structure or cubic, tetragonal, hexagonal, orthorhombic, monoclinic, or triclinic. Another characteristic of a mineral is that it has a definite chemical composition. So what is a chemical composition? This refers to the arrangement, type, and ratio of atoms in molecules of chemical substances. For example, the quartz mineral. So mostly, makikita ang quartz mineral sa mga babasagin, katulad ng mga glass. So in a quartz mineral, the silicon atom is double bonded to two atoms of oxygen. So, palagi pong ganyan ang chemical composition ng quartz. Lastly, a mineral is a solid. So, meaning it is not a gas nor a liquid. To sum it up, a mineral is a naturally occurring, not man-made or machine-generated, inorganic, not a byproduct of living things, solid with an orderly crystalline structure and a definite chemical composition. Minerals are the basic building blocks of rock. Let us now go to the physical properties of minerals. Let's start with the color. Color is our first impression of the mineral. However, it is not very reliable because lots of minerals can occur in many different colors. It is the most obvious but not always definitive. May mga mineral na nag-iiba-iba ng kulay. Hindi mo masasabi na sa isang mineral ay isang kulay lamang ang taglay niya, kaya hindi siya reliable. Katulad ng mineral na quartz na kung saan ay iba't ibang kulay ang nakikita dito. Merong transparent, there is purple amethyst, lavender, yellowish. So, masasabi mo na may mga mineral na maraming taglay-taglay na iba't ibang kulay. So, bakit nagkakaroon ng ganitong pangyayari sa mga mineral? Because of some processes that happens to them, katulad ng pag-acquire ng mga impurities dahil sa weathering process. So, minsan, katulad ng mineral na fluoride, which is a component of a toothpaste na ginagamit natin sa ngipin natin. So, it is not only transparent, meron din pong blue, green, and purple na nakikita dito sa mineral na to. Okay, another physical property is streak. Streak is defined as the true color of a mineral. This property is now a reliable one. Masasabi natin na ang streak ang tunay na kulay ng mineral because this is the color of a mineral's powder form left behind when rubbed on a rough surface. So kung titignan natin, kapag ang mineral ay in-scrape or nirub sa isang porcelain plate, merong maiiwang powder. Meron tayong makikitang streak. Kung ano yung kulay ng powder na naiwan sa porcelain dish, ito po ang totoong kulay ng mineral. So, the red-brown streak of the mineral hematite is given as the example. How about the mineral pyrite? What do you think is the color of its streak? Another mineral is the fluorite, which is a component of a toothpaste. What do you think is the color of the streak of a fluorite? Can you guess it? Another physical property of minerals is hardness. Hardness is defined as a mineral's resistance to being scratched. It depends on how tightly packed the atoms are. Hardness sa Tagalog ay ang tigas ng isang mineral. So, there is a Mohs scale of hardness from 1 to 10 that was developed by Friedrich Mohs. So, ano ba ang Mohs scale of hardness? Ang Mohs scale of hardness ay isang chart na dinevelop para makita ang relative hardness ng mga mineral. For example, sa level 1, ito ay ang talc. So, makikita nyo na habang pataas ng pataas yung level from 1 to 10, ito naman ay patigas ng patigas. So, the softest mineral, according to the Mohs scale of hardness, is the talc, followed by the gypsum, and so on. And the hardest one is the diamond. At sinasabi nila, only diamond can scratch another diamond. Pero si diamond, kaya niyang scratch lahat ng mga mineral from level 9 pababa to level 1. The following table shows the hardness of various common materials. So for example, a piece of chalk can be compared to the hardness of a talc. So they have the same level. and hardness. So the plaster of Paris is in level 2 or scale 2. The fingernail, yung ating mga kuko ay nasa level 2.5 hardness. Ang gold, kahit mahal, ay nasa 2.5 to 3 hardness lamang na level. Ang penny or ang isang coin, copper coin, can be compared or has a hardness of 3.5. Iron nail has a hardness of 4. Window glass has a hardness of 5.5. A steel file, 6.5. Ceramic tile, 7.0. And aluminum oxide, 9.0. Another physical property is cleavage. It is defined as splits along definite planes. So, ang cleavage sa mineral ay kapag ang mga mineral ay nahati mo, magkakaroon ng resultang flat sheet or flat part ng mineral. Kahit saang part or surface mo siya hatiin, no? Talagang mahahati po siya sa weak bond. At ang resulta nito ay magkakaroon ng mga flat or mga plain na mga surfaces. Example, in a halite or a salt's cleavage property, makikita mo na once you pound using a hammer, no, the salt will have a flattened surface. So, kahit saang anggulo mo siya pukpukin, talagang meron kang mahahawakan na flat na surface. Pwedeng sa taas, pwedeng sa magkabilang gilid, pwede rin sa ilalim. So, that is what you call the cleavage property. Another physical property is fracture. Fracture refers to rough or irregular surfaces along which the mineral breaks randomly. Ito naman, kapag ito ay nag-break, or for example, pinukpok mo, mapaghihiwalay mo siya, and at the same time, yung mga resulting pieces ay hindi flat. So, pwedeng ito po ay rough, uneven surfaces, or irregular surfaces, or jagged surfaces. Basta walang flat na surface na maiiwan doon sa mga pira-pirasong mineral. For example, in this fracture, conchoidal fracture, ang naging resulta ay smooth, rounded surface resembling the shape of a scallop shell. So, parang humahawak ka ng scallop shell. Ganun po yung kanyang surface. So, makikita nyo sa fracture, walang piraso na merong flat surface. Kasi yun po ay nasa cleavage property. Another physical property is luster. It is the quality and intensity of reflected light exhibited by the mineral. So, it can be classified into two, metallic mineral and non-metallic mineral. So, in metallic mineral, as you can see, the mineral is shiny or it looks like a polished mineral. Bakit nagiging shiny? Kasi nare-reflect yung light at mataas yung reflected light compared sa non-metallic na ganyan ang kanyang itsura, which is kakaunti lang yung nare-reflect na light or kadalasan walang nare-reflect na light. Kaya hindi po siya shiny at hindi rin siya at parang hindi siya polished surface. Another physical property is crystal habit. It is the natural shape of the mineral before the development of any cleavage or fracture. So, bawat mineral meron siyang taglay na natural na hugis. Okay? Bago siya magkaroon ng sira, okay, or masira, or ma-split into two, or ma-split or ma-break down into many pieces. So for example, merong mga crystal habit or shape na cubes, octahedra, blades, hexagonal prisms, dodecahedra, rhombohedra, and tetragonal prisms. So class, hope you learn new something about the physical properties and the characteristics of minerals. And now, we will be moving on to the other lesson of this module, which is all about the rocks. Thank you very much and God bless.